Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a little slurp. It's Les here over at the rock room, as you can see behind me. I'll just knock this up. And it's time for our weekly update on the rocks that we've been doing for the last 6 weeks. Now it's actually Friday night as I speak, because I'm not going to get a chance to do this in the morning. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get straight over here and we're going to look at the large barrel that we've got, which is the one that's been added to over a period of these 5 weeks as we've removed some of the rocks. The second barrel is the one that we've already been running on 400 grit now for a fortnight. That should be ready to move on to 600 grit. And finally on the end we've got a small barrel which had the lava kite chunks in it. So we'll have a look at that as well. So let's have a look over here in the actual sieve and see what we've got. Right, so I've already turned it off. Just going to get the lid off. Right, so we've got a nice thick paste, as you can see. That's a lovely thick paste, and that's the borax doing a wonderful job. And the stone slurry, of course. Let's just give these a quick rinse. Like magic, isn't it? Look at the colours in there. Now I chucked a couple of sections of this in as well. This is that. In fact, I'll zoom in for you. See if it's picking that up. Can you see the glitters in that? Look, can you see? Like abalone shell. This is the one I was saying last week. It looks like it's got fish scales embedded in it. This is the one I always get the letters wrong way around. Lava kite. Larkivite. It's all good one. That's another chunk. This is a lovely blue laced agate. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely, lovely. Look at the banding in that. This one's like toffee. What else we got here? This lovely quartz material. Right in there. It might be an agate of some description. Right, lovely, isn't it? What else we got? This is that pebble. Remember last week I did a pebble, cut it in half. That's the piece that I chopped off, and that come up lovely. If you can hear some banging in the background, that's the rain. Absolutely chucking it down outside. That's not ready, look. You see how it's undercut? Them grooves that you can see is where a softer material has given way. So that's a bit of crap really. Most of these now seem to be carnelians, which is these orange types, and a lot of grey stuff. I'm not sure what that is, it's just grey, like it's like that shark colour. Anyway, I'll pick through these and find out the ones that's ready to move on, and they'll go into the glass jar to join the rest, and then I'll put these back on. I'll be right back. Right, so I've removed the stones from the sieve, and that's the amount that I've got so far out of this barrel. Now these stones are in the same condition as these stones were in last week, if you remember, because I put these, 2 weeks ago, I put these on 400 grit. So the majority of these stones in this barrel is the ones that we originally started on with, like 6 weeks ago, because the other barrel is full of top-ups, if you like. So there's not many stones in that big barrel that's left from the original first week. Most of them have gone in here, and they're in this glass jar as well, this glass I've just shown you. So we've got the stones back in, as you can see. Just get rid of this a sec. As you can see, that's my slurry bucket underneath. Never throw it in the sink. What I tend to do with this is I've got a couple of these buckets on go because it's not convenient to throw it away. So what I do is I put this bucket, when it's full, I put it down and I leave it for about 4 days, and after about 4 days all the solids in it have dropped to the bottom, and then I can pour the top clear bit down the sink, keeping the remainder in the bottom, so it gets thicker and thicker and thicker with slurry, and then I can dispose of it all at once. Anyway, that's how many I've got in there. Look, it's not quite half full. So what I'm going to have to do, because what I want to do this time is that I don't want to, in fact, look, I found some spare ones in need of more 80 grit. So I'll use some of them just to top up this barrel. Now, so we're now 3/4 full. So I'm just going to put the grit back in that, and then I can put it back on. So for our lunchtime viewers, that's it. We'll get back to the main video now. However, for our lapidary people, the people that enjoy this and it's not just for vaping, we'll move on. So this is that second barrel that's now been on for 2 weeks, and it's been on 400 grit because I bypassed 220 because I didn't have any in. So it's been on 400 grit, and I think after 2 weeks this should now be ready to move up to 600 grit. Ooh, very thick. Look at this. Another nice thick paste, as you can see. So these have been on 400 grit for about 2 weeks. So let me just get some water on them. Because I always forget to fill the jug. I'll just have a slurp of my coffee while that's filling. Right, so this is the original. I think they were mainly jaspers and quartz as well. Ooh, like a bag of sweets. Let me zoom in for you. You see, they've got much smoother. The surface is now more sanded. I can feel it more sanded. So these are definitely ready to move on to 600 grit. That's a lovely one, isn't it? A lovely pattern, isn't it? The black and white stuff. Amethyst. I don't know what this blue is, but it's very nice. Looks like blue jeans colour. There's a bit of that septonite. Lovely grey colour with blood red spots in it. That's some of that one that's all fossils. Tiny little snails. but I don't really like that stuff. I like the thing, but it's one of them that the more you tumble it, the rougher it seems to get. This is a piece with the fibres in it. Can you see them fibres in that? Isn't that bizarre? What is that? Does anybody know what crystal that is? Don't know. There's a little piece with a red end. Lovely. So you can see that's after 2 weeks in 400 grit as opposed to what they'll look like. Well, you won't be able to feel it, but I can tell you this feels like it's rough, matte. This feels much smoother. It's getting almost glassy feeling compared to that. So I'll get these rinsed off and then we'll get them back on, but this time I'm going to get them on in 600 grit. And I'll zoom out for that for you. I'll note that in this particular barrel what I've actually done is I've put some filler material, and that's because I've not got any more that are ready for 600 grit. Add a bit of water, bring it to just below the level of the pebbles, and then we can get that one back on. Easy as that. Right, so the final one that I'm going to look at is the one that's the oddments, the little bits of larvicite and a pebble that I cut in half or something. It was just really a test because I wanted to see what colour they are. Larvicite. I'll have to get my head around that. I'm not giving birth in the background. I'm trying to get lid off. Oh. I should have more fibre in my diet. There's too much thrusting going on here. Jesus Christ, they're hard to get off. Oh, got a breath now. Right, let's have a look at these ones. Again, nice and thick. Just as a matter of interest, I mentioned it before, this filler material, once you're finished with it, you can reuse it, but you must put it in a bag and label it with what grit you used it with. And in that way, you can reuse this again for the next lot that you need some for 600 grit. Don't be tempted to try and save money and use 80 grit when you should be using 600 grit, because you will contaminate it and it will scratch all your rocks again. So anyway, let's get some water on these. Let me zoom in a bit for you. To change the focus. Focus there. Focus there. Set. Okay. I think that's focused. Lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Piece of that blue lace which I moved on. This is Grant's pebble. He gave me this pebble, but I'm going to give it him back because I've drilled a hole in it and it will become a key ring fob. Nice that, isn't it? So that's really all that were in this barrel. I just wanted to do something in it. That's another piece of pebble that I chopped up. If you remember, we've just seen a piece of that earlier in a different barrel. This reminds me of coconut ice. This is another one of them picture jasper ones that I drilled a hole in. to make it into a little key ring thing. I used a Dremel machine and a little diamond bit that, you know, you get them in kit packs of 10 or something. Worked a treat. One of them. Very, very, very attractive stone is that, especially in these slices. Anyway, that is about it. Right, so that is the 3 barrels that are now on the go. I have turned them on yet, obviously. So we've got the one that's got the mixed rocks, which is basically an amalgam of all sorts of stuff that we put in there over the last 5 weeks. The main bulk of the stuff that we started off with is now on 600 grit, with a few that's going to be going out to 400 grit following on behind. So that's it for that. In this one, this is the 5 pound one, I've got a big batch of tiger's eye in that. But that tiger's eye is on a video of its own because it's from start to finish of tiger's eye, so I'm not going to show you that. But it's extremely nice. And if you've been eagle-eyed, you'll have noticed this red thing in the background. That red thing, it says on it here, they call it a water mill. And basically what that is, it's an angle grinder with a water tap on it. Isn't that clever? So it's basically cooled. You know, like when you're using any lapidary cutter or saw or whatever, you've got to have water. And basically you, what are we doing with the little wheels? It's got a Velcro end on it. I'll come over here, you can see this. And you get this pack of grits on them. And these little squares are impregnated with diamond grit, or diamond powder, or whatever it is. So that Velcro's onto the back of your machine, and then and the water comes out, and it keeps it all nice and lubricated. So you've got the different colours signify different grits, and this particular pack goes from 50 grit up to 3000 grit. But what this is actually designed for, it's actually designed for doing countertops. So when you get a marble countertop or a granite countertop or even concrete, and then they use this machine for going over it to buff it so that it looks like normal countertop. Because this looks like it could have been concrete. You know, this pattern, this grey pattern. Because when you sand concrete and you seal it in that, it does look nice, especially if you've got nice aggregates in it. You know, aggregates being the little particles there. Which would be nice to make some concrete with aggregate like this, wouldn't it? And sand that so it's got all different colours in the concrete, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's what that's for, but I'm not using it for that, obviously. I'm using it for big pebbles. Well, I say big pebbles, big for me. Obviously they're not big, but they are quite huge. So that looks like a bike saddle, doesn't it? Anyway, the idea is, I've seen somebody else, I've seen the Michigan Rocks doing it with, he had one of these, and I thought, I'll have to have a little play with that. So that's what I've got that for, to sand, see if I can sand it, but I have got dodgy hands, so I'm not too sure if I'll be able to do that, because it might vibrate me to death. So anyway, I'll have a go at it anyway. Anyway, that's it for this quick video. Grand cup of coffee. I'll get my stuff packed up and then I shall see you again next week with an update on this and how far we're getting. We're coming on now, we're up to 600 grit, we've only got another like 2 or 3 grits to go and then we're done. So I reckon in about 3 weeks time we should be more or less complete with that first batch. So that's going to be great fun. I've filled that larger drum up with some random stuff that I've got over here. Because I want to get that drum finished. I don't want to just keep adding random stuff to it. I want to get the drum finished, get the whole system cleared. Because I want to put some individual batches of individual rocks on. You know what I mean? Like this in here is tiger's eye. It's all tiger's eye, it's not a mixture of stuff. So that's what I want to do next. However, also what I want to do next is start this tumble that I'm doing. Now, I have got a friend in China and they're doing me some rock tumblers. So those rock tumblers will be available for sale on the website, which is Cabin Mods, Ignore what it says at the top. We actually sell electronic gadgets and stuff. So there will be on there, and I've got the £3 model, a £6 model and a £15 model. Variable speed. Some of them have got DC motors, so it's nice and safe. But there'll be more to come as they actually come. Not all of them come with standard with rubber barrels, which is rather nice, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, it's been all interesting, it's all good fun. I tell you, one thing leads to another and I just can't help myself. What can I say? You've got to do what you've got to do, haven't you? So it's, ooh, listen to that rain. Well, one more slurp of this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've got to show you. No. Hopefully in about 2 weeks' time though, we'll be starting to use that vibratory tumbler, you know, the tumble baby. Now I haven't been able to use it yet because we haven't actually got any to end of this system, have we? This is that machine is only for polish. I don't want any other grits in that, so it's just for me polish. And it's actually full of about 6 or 7 kilos of ceramic chips. It's all good fun. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget, get over, and if you're a vapor, get over to my other channel, which is Vape It with Les on YouTube, and give that a subscribe. That's the place. I've just actually resurrected that channel. I've been off for a couple of years, a year at least. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. So yeah, get subscribed to that. Anyway, that's it for this. I shall see you later. Adios.